Oh, yeah. I had sent some emails about the responsibilities, right, of law enforcement to enforce the laws, and the board has many responsibilities leading up to the certifying of an election. Now they have to determine the validity of questionable, challenged, or provisional ballots. And then they have to determine the voter intent in accord with the statewide standards adopted by the Secretary of State. Now, I know your thought was that you could determine the validity of any court order without a signature of the petitioner, without any due process to myself,
Yes,
with the use of a forgery of an ex officio Superior Court clerk,
yes.
without any incident of child abuse or domestic violence, because you decided as the sheriff's office that you did determine that it was valid to issue any fucking court order. Now, the questionable, challenged, and provisional ballots. Let's say there's a questionable, challenged, or provisional court order.
Yes.
Where there's no actual signature of the petitioner. There is no signature of the protected person.
Yes.
No signature of the petitioner. Right. Now, let's do a signature verification. Okay. Could you get me the actual voting ballots of Christy Miller, the elected? Well, let's get every election that Christy Miller voted in for the last, 30 years. Now, I'm guessing her age, and she might be in her 40s.
Yes.
And if she started voting at the age of 18, considering she's the Clallam County Clerk of said county, an ex officio clerk of Superior Court, do her. Well, every time I was to use this court order as a reason to invalidate her actual voting record for the last 30 years,
Yes.
I would challenge every election. Now you're being total fucking assholes, and, well, let's say you had one vote that was not the actual signature of the voter. Now, one of these two individuals is not the voter known as Christy Miller. Which of these two is not the voter? If I was to look at her own voting record,
Yes.
did she vote for herself? Well, it would invalidate her own election, wouldn't it, if it was the wrong signature? Now, let me see. Somebody decided to be the imposter and vote for themselves in office, but they're not the actual individual that was running for office. What would happen when we go through all the signatures of every voter for office?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Of all of those that are running for office,
Yes.
that filled out a candidacy form,
Yes.
and then they decided they would use a forgery to vote for themselves. Yes. And then the signature on their official documents is a forgery. Now, you would think that the candidate form,
Yes.
would mean that you'd vote for yourself?
Yes.
Just get me the ballots.